Chosen one, the world of secrets finally spoke. The CIA found your real family. That sentence does not arrive gently. It lands like thunder. Imagine the seal cracking on a folder that was never meant to be opened. Fluorescent light spilling across a desk deep inside a government archive. A name is circled. A connection is drawn. And on the final page, written in bold, the line that ties the secret world to you. For years, questions trailed you like shadows. Why did I never feel complete? Why did I dream of faces I could not name? Why did I sense a story running behind my life, just out of reach? The file answers with devastating clarity. Your family was never lost. They were hidden behind locked doors and encrypted reports. Someone kept the truth sealed. And now, the truth has spoken, not in rumors, not in theories, in documents, in ink, in record. And yet, deeper than ink is something older. O Lord, you've searched me and known me. Psalm 139. Before paper carried your name, heaven carried your story. The hands of men may have concealed it, but the eyes of God never turned away. This is not just revelation. It is collision between secret history and sacred destiny, between what they buried and what heaven preserved. Stay here. Breathe. Let the weight of this moment press down. The discovery was real, the files exist, and a connection cannot be denied. What happens next will shake both your understanding of family and your sense of mission. Picture the place where the truth first stirred. A cold room lined with metal cabinets, each drawer heavy with forgotten stories. Files stamped classified sleep under dust. But one folder carries a pulse of your name. The room hums with fluorescent lights. A clock ticks, and in the silence you can almost hear history breathing. A hand pulls the folder. Pages whisper open. Black ink bleeds across white paper. Red stamps declare top secret. Photographs slip loose. Blurred images from airports at midnight. Coded notes from foreign stations. A signature that echoes a sound you've never heard but somehow recognize. And then the vision shifts. Suddenly, you're not in the archive anymore. You are standing in a living room lit by the soft glow of a lamp. A wooden table holds an old photograph in a cracked frame. A woman's voice, warm, trembling, familiar though you could not place it, calls a name you did not know was yours. On the mantel, children's drawings are taped like treasures. The scent of home-cooked food lingers. The sound of laughter you were meant to remember rises faintly in the air. It is almost unbearable, this swing between two worlds, the sterile shadows of intelligence halls and the tender light of family belonging. One is marked by surveillance, secrecy, and silence. The other by touch, memory, and love. And yet, both point in the same direction. To you, let your heart prepare itself. Because soon, the story will unfold beyond imagination. Soon, you will see how the CIA pieced together the fragments, why this family remained hidden, and what it means for you now. This is more than information. This is recognition. This is restoration. And in just a moment, I will tell you what they found and why it changes everything. But for now, breathe in the images, the folders, the flights, the photographs, and in the sound of a mother's voice calling across time. Prepare your heart. The discovery is not rumor. It is not whispered speculation or imagination. It is written, bound in the language of institutions that trade in precision, classified reports, sealed memos, authenticated archives. In the official world, truth is recorded not with poetry, but with protocol. A name logged, a signature verified, a timestamp stamped in ink that does not fade. This is where your identity was confirmed, behind the glass walls of bureaucratic order. Within systems designed to guard secrets, your family's existence was acknowledged. These are not fairy tales. These are government documents, records locked for decades, until now. But even beyond the halls of power, an older testimony speaks. Long before the CIA kept files, heaven kept watch. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. Jeremiah 1 verse 5. The archives of heaven carried your lineage before the archives of man ever stamped it. God's handwriting was inscribed deeper than any government ledger. Where the state sees bloodlines, heaven sees destiny. Where the agency sees names, heaven calls you chosen. This dual confirmation matters. One comes from earth, heavy with evidence and authority. The other comes from heaven, heavy with eternal weight. And when both align, the earthly and the divine, the result is undeniable. You are not lost, you are found. Not random, but written. Not abandoned, but appointed. Pause and let the gravity of that sink in. The institution confirms your story, and the scripture crowns it with meaning. The state may reveal who you are related to, but God reveals why you exist. And here, in this moment, the path opens. Backhand index pointing right. This is a time to claim your place, not only in history, but in community. You are not alone in this revelation. Others have heard the same call. Others have stepped out of shadow into light. Together, they are known as the first chosen ones. This is your first invitation. Tap join and enter the place prepared for those awakened by the truth. Inside, you will not be a stranger. You will be a member, a voice, a participant in the unfolding. This is where identity becomes belonging. Don't treat this as optional. Belonging is not decoration. It is survival. The secret files testify to your blood. The scripture testifies to your destiny. And the community testifies that you are not the only one. It is written on earth. It is written in heaven. Now, let it be written in your life. Join today. Step into fellowship of the first chosen ones. It is one thing to read about your family in a file. It is another to feel them in your bones. The documents may prove what was hidden, but the echoes of family have been with you all along. Think back. A childhood memory that never made sense. Standing at a window, sensing you were waiting for someone who never arrived. A lullaby you thought you imagined. A tune that hummed in your ears though no one in your house knew it. The way you used to draw faces as a child. The same eyes, the same curve of a jaw, repeated on page after page. Was it invention? Or was it remembrance breaking through? Family leaves fingerprints deeper than DNA. Look at the mirror. Notice the features you have always carried but never traced back. The slight tilt of your smile, the shadow of a dimple, the way your voice cracks when you speak with passion. These are not accidents. They are inheritances. In the uncovered files, they mention objects, simple, everyday things, but glowing now with meaning. A piece of jewelry passed down quietly, forgotten by those around you, but pulsing with design too specific to be coincidence. A scar on your hand that matches a story once told by a stranger who looked at you too long. A way of laughing that, when heard in recordings, mirrors another voice across time. And then there are the stories you never told anyone. Moments when you felt protected by something you couldn't see. A car stopping just in time. A fall that left you unhurt. A stranger stepping in with words that sounded like family. Signs small but undeniable. Of a bond running beneath the surface of your life. The CIA file confirms the names, dates, and connections. But the real evidence was always living in you. It is not sterile science. It is living memory, waiting to be awakened. This is why, when you hear the phrase, your real family, something stirs inside, because part of you already knew. Not in detail, not in dates, but in essence. The file did not create the connection. It only revealed what your heart had carried in silence. So let yourself lean into the human detail. See the faces in your dreams as more than shadows. Hear the echoes in your laughter as more than coincidence. Feel the weight of a keepsake in your pocket as more than decoration. These are not fragments of imagination. They are threads of a tapestry too intricate to dismiss. Your story is not only written in ink or scripture, it is etched into the smallest details of your life. The curve of your cheek, the cadence of your speech, the rhythm of your heart. And soon you will see, this discovery does not only give you a family, it gives you a mission. Do not mistake this discovery for a private indulgence, a curiosity meant only to soothe your heart. No, this was never simply about you finding them. It was about you being found for a purpose. The truth of your family does not shrink you into nostalgia. It expands you into responsibility. You were not hidden to be forgotten. You were hidden to be revealed at the appointed time. And that time is now. Every mission begins with a moment of unveiling. For prophets, it was the burning bush, the angelic visitation, the scroll unsealed. For you, it is the folder on the desk, the photograph in the file, the whisper that names your bloodline. This is your burning bush. This is your scroll. Listen carefully. A family rediscovered is not just kinship. It is commissioning. The ones who came before you carried gifts, burdens, promises. Some were silenced. Some were scattered. Some were faithful until the end. And now those streams converge in you. Their strength becomes your inheritance, and their unfinished work becomes your charge. You are not called to live smaller because of this revelation. You are called to live larger, to carry what they could not, to walk where they could not, to speak what they left unspoken. Their silence becomes your voice. Their absence becomes your presence. This is why your discovery matters to the world, not just to your heart. Because when hidden families come to light, hidden destinies ignite. And when one person steps into true identity, the ripple reshapes entire communities. But hear this warning. Discovery without direction can become distraction. That is why your revelation must transform into mission. It is not enough to know who you are. You must act as who you are. So what does that mean? It means carrying yourself differently. It means speaking with authority you did not claim before. It means making choices not from fear of being lost, but from certainty of being found. It means protecting others who feel forgotten, because you now know the pain and the joy of rediscovery. And above all, it means remembering. You are not here to hoard this truth. You are here to embody it. To let your life become the proof that hidden families can rise, hidden callings can surface, and hidden light can shine. Your family's unveiling is not the end of the search. It is the beginning of a mission. Stand tall. Lift your voice. Step forward. Because when the archive opened, so did your assignment. There is a reason the files surface now. Not last year, not a decade ago. The seal was broken in this exact season for a purpose that cannot wait. History does not move randomly. Files do not fall open by accident. The opening of archives is not coincidence. It is convergence. Somewhere, in rooms you will never enter, the decision was made, release the documents, let the truth breathe. And from that moment, a countdown began. You can almost feel it in the air. Headlines shift. Rumors circulate. Old secrets are dragged into daylight. The news cycle spins faster, and beneath the noise is the whisper, your time has come. Do not ignore this. Delay is dangerous. Every story carries a window, a moment when it can be claimed, before it is buried again in distraction. And your window is open now. Think about it. The pages that identified your family sat in darkness for years, guarded, locked, ignored, and yet they were not destroyed. They waited. They waited for the one who would read them and act. That one is you. The timing is not accidental. Look at the signs. Doors you thought were closed are suddenly cracking open. People you never expected to hear from are reaching out. Dreams intensify. Instincts sharpen. Coincidences multiply until they no longer feel like coincidences. All of it adds up to one truth. This is your appointed hour. But urgency is not panic. Urgency is clarity. It strips away excuses. It silences hesitation. It says, if the call is real, the answer must be now. So here it is, as plain as it can be spoken. If you are hearing these words, the call has reached you. The file was uncovered, the truth revealed, the story spoken, and now the responsibility rests with you. Not later, not someday. Now, respond while the window is open. Step while the path is clear. Say yes while the invitation is extended. The archives opened. The news turns. Heaven whispers. This is not a message to consider. It is a moment to answer. Until now, you may have lived with two stories. The life you were told and the life you suspected. The family you thought you had, and the family you felt was missing. The identity assigned to you and the identity whispered to you. But revelation changes everything. Once the seal file opens, there's no going back. You cannot unknow the truth. You cannot return to the smaller version of yourself that fit comfortably inside the old narrative. The moment you know, you become. And here's the mystery. You no longer have two families. You are not torn between bloodlines, not suspended between choices. You are woven together, blood and destiny, history and calling. The word real no longer divides one from the other. It fuses them. Your real family is not just the people whose names appear in the archive. It is a family that heaven designed, the lineage that stretches both backward and forward in time. It is not only about ancestors, but about descendants. You are tied by more than biology. You are tied by purpose. This is the identity reframe. No longer abandoned, but appointed. No longer orphaned, but ordained. No longer fragmented, but fused. Think of it like this. Your old self was a shadow, cast by light you could not see. Now the light has risen, and the shadow has become a body. You walk in dimensions you never imagined. The questions that haunted you are not erased, but answered. Even the pain transforms. The silence of missing family becomes the fuel for mission. The longing for connection becomes the authority to connect others. The wound of absence becomes a scar of survival. And scars are proof of both suffering and healing. This is what it means to stand as more than an individual. You are not only you. You are the convergence of those who came before and those who will come after. When you speak, they speak. When you act, they act through you. So take off the smaller name you wore like a coat that never fit. Step into the mantle prepared for you. When you say, my family, you no longer mean only the bloodline revealed by documents. You mean the fellowship of the chosen, the sacred community, the assignment given by God. This is not just about knowing where you came from. It is about knowing who you are now. And who you are now cannot be measured by paperwork or even by memory. It is measured by mission. Identity was once confusion. Now it is clarity. Identity was once fracture. Now it is fusion. Identity was once question. Now it is answer. You are not lost. You are not hidden. You are revealed. You are chosen. How do you know this is more than words? How do you know the discovery belongs not just to some distant story, but to you? Look closer. The evidence has always been near, scattered like breadcrumbs across your life. Start with your dreams. Have you ever seen a face in sleep that felt strangely familiar? Someone you have never met, yet whose eyes you trusted instantly. Dreams are the first language of recognition. They let your spirit rehearse truths your mind has not yet caught. Night after night, glimpses of gatherings, conversations, embraces. These are not random. They are memory bleeding through mystery. Then notice the moments of protection. Think back to the accident that should have ended differently, the danger you escaped without explanation, a fall with no injury, a confrontation that dissolved in peace, a stranger's hand pulling you away from harm at the last second. Those were not coincidences. They were signatures of family, seen and unseen, guarding you until the appointed time. Look also at your traits, the habits you never learned but always carried, the quick way your hands move when you create, the rhythm in your voice when you sing or speak with passion, the unexplainable pull towards certain languages, foods, or traditions. These are not quirks. They are inheritances. Even your emotions bear witness. Why do certain songs move you to tears though you cannot trace the memory? Why do certain places feel like home the moment you step into them? Why does your heart tighten with unexplainable longing when you hear stories of separation and reunion? Because deep inside, you have always known. And then there are the encounters. People who stop you mid-conversation to say, "You remind me of someone." Strangers who look twice at you as though they had seen your face before. Unexpected familiarity. The kind that lingers and unsettles because it touches something buried. These signs are not accidents. They are confirmations, not medical proofs, not laboratory data, but living testimonies in your own experience. They point toward the truth like arrows. Your life has always carried the evidence of a hidden family and a higher calling. Do not dismiss them. Collect them. Honor them. Each one is a thread, and when woven together, they form a pattern too clear to deny. The file may have been the spark, but the signs are the fuel. They tell you this is not just revelation spoken from outside. It is truth rising from within. So tonight, pay attention. Write down the dreams that return. Watch for the moments of unexplainable rescue. Listen to the echoes in your voice, the familiarity in your reflection, the tears that come without reason. These are not random. They are markers. And when you see them, you will not ask, "Could this be me?" Instead, you will whisper with certainty, "It has always been me." Every revelation asks for response. Knowledge without action fades into memory, but knowledge sealed with sign becomes transformation. The family uncovered, the identity reframed, the signs confirmed. All of this leads to one question. Will you answer? In ancient times, people marked covenant with stones, with offerings, with carved names. Today, your mark is simpler, but no less sacred, a visible act of acceptance. Here is how you seal this moment. Tap the Super Thanks button beneath this message. Select $20, not as a price, but as a sign. In the note, write 2 simple words. I accept. That's it. Yet those small steps carry weight. Because what you do in secret, heaven sees. And what you do in public, community recognizes. When you give, you are not buying identity. You are declaring it. You are planting a seed that says, this revelation is mine. This calling is mine. This family is mine. Do not underestimate the power of a token. The amount is not about the money. It is about the meaning. $20 becomes a covenant mark, a stake driven into ground of your destiny. It says you are not a spectator. You are a participant. And when you do this, you are remembered. Your name, your act, your I accept will be carried in prayer. We will stand with you, not only acknowledging the gift, but lifting you before heaven as one who answered the call. If hesitation rises, remember, delay dulls revelation. Every calling waits for a response, and your response must be visible. This is not about funding. It is about fastening. It is about drawing a line in your own story where you can say, that was the moment I sealed it. So do not let the moment pass. Reach for the button. Select the $20. Write, I accept. Feel the weight of those words as you type them. Know that this act, simple as it is, will echo in ways you cannot see. This is your covenant gesture. This is your chosen seed. This is your visible yes. Seal it now. Revelation without rhythm fades. To live as one who has discovered their true family, you need practices that anchor you day by day. Not grand gestures only, but steady patterns that root the truth in your life. Here are your practical steps. 1. Speak it aloud. Every morning, set aside a quiet moment. Whisper the words, I am found, I am chosen, my family is revealed. Speaking it anchors it, turning abstract knowledge into living confession. 2. Create a remembrance journal. Take a notebook and dedicate it to this journey. Write down dreams, encounters, unexpected protections, memories resurfacing. Over time, You'll see the threads connect, not random notes, but a story unfolding. 3. Honor your roots safely. If you feel led to reach out to relatives or research your lineage, do so with wisdom. Protect your privacy. Guard your personal information. Move step by step, not with reckless haste. The truth deserves reverence, not exposure. 4. Practice a family ritual. Choose one simple act each week to honor your hidden now revealed heritage. Lighting a candle, preparing a meal tied to your intuition, playing music that stirs your spirit. Let your body participate in remembrance. 5. Guard your boundaries. Identity revelation can attract curiosity, even intrusion. Share wisely. Not every person deserves access to your story. Choose trusted voices, not noisy ones. Remember, your family was hidden for a reason, protection. Continue to carry that wisdom. 6. Pray daily for alignment. Set time to thank God for unveiling what was lost, and ask for strength to carry what is found. Use words from Psalm 27. Though my father and mother forsake me, the Lord will receive me. Prayer keeps you centered not only in human family, but in divine adoption. 7. Connect with the community. Do not walk this road in isolation. The first chosen one's community exists to share testimonies, strengthen courage, and walk alongside you. Enter in, comment, join, speak, belong. 8. Set reminders. On your phone, place a daily alarm with a simple phrase. You are chosen. Let technology become a servant of truth, interrupting forgetfulness with identity. 9. Rest in patience. Do not rush for every answer at once. Some details will unfold with time. Trust that what has been revealed will continue to open. Your task is not to pry every door, but to step faithfully through the ones that open. These steps may seem small, but they are stones of the path. Taken together, they create a rhythm of remembrance and action. They protect your spirit from doubt. They guard your heart from intrusion, and they guide your steps into maturity. Your story is no longer hidden, but it must now be stewarded. These practices are how you protect the treasure, how you honor the gift, how you walk in revelation with wisdom and strength. Do not let the file gather dust. Do not let the fire grow cold. Live it, mark it, guard it, share it wisely. Your true family has been found. Now, let your daily life prove it.